Welcome to a brand new episode of Sequel Rights, the podcast where we take a look at the franchises that make you go, they made 200 of those? And we give each and every sequel a fair trial. My name is Justin Camps, and I'm here with
Elizabeth Ellie.
And
I can't believe we did 200 Tyler Hymanson.
We did 200. This is episode 200. And we're choosing to spend it wisely on The Land Before Time 11, Invasion of the Tinysauruses. I mean, this is what we do, you guys. This is what we do.
If our lives were in a different place, maybe we would have put together some 200th episode thing, but it's, we just
tired
right now.
There's nothing more perfect than talking about the 11th entry of a series for our 200th episode.
That's
exactly.
true. That's true.
We just did a big thing, 150 episodes, for that one, and
That's true.
yeah,
and then
we're
we
just
did
really
50
busy.
Land Before Time movies.
Exactly.
I mean, technically, we probably should have said something about this last week, but from 10, because the last one, longest series, it was 9. So from 10 on, we're in unknown territory.
That's
We're
right.
like Furious beyond. Okay.
Anything could happen. The Tinysauruses could attack at any minute, like this week. Well, we're excited. Thanks to you guys for being with us for all these 200 episodes. I can't believe it. It's pretty nuts. But hey, if you want to send us some 200 episode love, Eliz, where can people do that?
Yeah, you can send us an email to sequelrights@gmail.com, or you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Sequel Rights.
And please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. 5 stars goes a very long way for helping all the Tinysauruses out there find us.
That's right. All right, well, let's get into this. This is the 200th movie we've watched, so let's get into it. Brace yourselves for this one.
Now there's a place that you can go where adventure waits with friends you know.
Yeah.
Mountains high and valleys low.
Everybody follow me. I'm gonna get you. I want to go back to the land before time.
For a Tinysauruses Dino Fest with Littlefoot, Peach, Spike, and the rest.
The Land Before Time, Invasion of the Tinysauruses. An all-new movie now on DVD and video.
Okay, that was the only trailer I could find. All right,
What? They can barely write enough songs for these movies. Somebody wrote a song for the trailer?
Yeah, and it's like not a bad song. They're like, I want to go back to the land before time. And I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty cool.
We have to go back, first of all.
And then I swear,
That's right.
it sounds like a song that they just created and they're going to use for like every movie, because like the last part of the song is just like some guy going, and the Tinysauruses came in and like they could
I like
just
when
change
he said,
it.
and Spike and the rest. I'm like, I don't know if that's how anyone would describe the group ever.
I have to, I'm going to be jumping ahead here, but Eliz, you already jumped the shark on this because
Oh, sorry.
I was going to talk about us, our 200th episode, and we're finally culminating one of our longest running jokes of Daddy Tops. Like, we're finally getting there. And then I was going to say, but that's not true. Our oldest joke is Lost references, and we already did it.
Yes.
So,
I mean, everything in life is a Lost reference. That's why
That's
that's the
true.
rules.
It was weird. I thought like, when I found that trailer, I was like, oh, this must be like the theme song for the TV show. But the TV show theme song is totally different and didn't come out for 2 more years. So this is definitely something that was like written, I guess, just for the trailer. I don't know.
does the
Or for
TV
ads.
show also have the Tinysauruses?
I don't know. But the theme song's done by Ladysmith Black Mambazo, so.
What?
Yeah.
You love Lady Smith Back Mambazo.
I know. I gotta.
Sorry, I got to put a Mean Girls reference.
I gotta check out the show. I gotta check it out. But no, this week we're talking about the 11th film, Invasion of the Tinysauruses. And I think last week, Eliz, first of all, last week, man, we were like over the moon about this number 10.
Right.
X.
Yeah.
And I know, I think Eliz, you thought maybe like that this was the title, or maybe it was Tyler, I don't remember who, but you thought maybe the title sequence from, 10 was what we're going to get every sequel going
Tyler said
forward.
that, yeah.
And this just, no, it just turned out to be like just a screen card, like popping up with the text.
I mean, John Ingle is still credited as the narrator, but it sounded totally different to me.
I thought for sure
I
it
was
was
like,
someone
oh,
else.
a new narrator, no. And then, I was so confused.
We have a new narrator who legally changed his name to John Ingle.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, they took those 2 years off and now they lost all the voice actors is what I thought. But it turns
They're
out
all
that's not the
still
case.
here.
Yeah, everyone's still there. Everyone. Even Charles Grosvenor. And even the Roman numerals are still there, even though like some places you look online, it won't have the Roman numerals anymore with this film.
Right. This is the one where they change fonts too.
Yeah.
Like to a font that I don't like as much.
You guys should watch the trailer for this movie because they're using like random footage from the other films, and there's a shot of like Sarah running down the hill and headbutting that like pile of rocks that I think she does in 10 to like hit the sharp teeth. And she headbutts the pile of rocks and it flies into the air and spells out like the land before time. It's pretty stupid. worth watching.
I love the idea that they spent money on additional animation because they thought that was such a good idea.
Yeah. Well, this one, starts off with we get introduced to the concept of tree suites,
which kind of makes me wonder, like, is there no fruit?
I don't know. Yeah. They just got to eat like sweet flowers.
They're just such greedy bastards. There's never any fruit. They're just like, yeah, the flowers are here.
What?
Let's fucking eat them.
Fruit. There was fruit on the mysterious island.
That's
Hopper
true.
gathered it up for friends for dinner, and they didn't seem to think that it was like a shocking new thing then. So the fact that everyone's freaking the F out over these tree sweets, I was like, could nobody get a pineapple or a banana? Like, what the hell?
Those are hard to crack open, I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
Pineapple.
That's the problem with most movies is like people just don't know how to get a pineapple.
Fair
Yeah, and these tree sweets are so special. They got to name a whole day after it, which I thought Nibbling Day, which I thought was just like such a weird titles in this movie. Nibbling Day, anyone? Want to go nibble on some treats?
Don't confuse it because it's not part of the time of great giving. That was over long ago, and now we have very set rules, and we have Nibbling Day.
That's right.
Which I guess is what the kids are calling it these days. But yeah, it's a lot.
Nibbling Day.
There's all this drama about who found the tree sweets first because that person gets to eat the first tree sweet on Nibbling Day.
This is one of the first times they did like a fade into a flashback going like and then like showing, the first time they ever saw this tree or whatever. And I was like, this franchise hasn't done that. Hasn't been doing stuff like that.
No.
They just act like you already know everything and they never like go back and explain it.
It was weird. It was a weird moment.
Yeah.
That's not how I remember it.
Yeah. They should have done the full Rashomon thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the three multiple different point of views. Yeah, so that's the big thing. Apparently these things taste like the greatest thing you've ever eaten. So Spike's trying to get up there. Petrie's trying to fly up there, and they all get caught by Daddy Tops.
Daddy Topsy.
Who, for some reason, still is not called Daddy Tops at all. I thought I was waiting the whole movie. I was like, this has got to be it. She's already calling him Topsy. Like, someone's going to go to Daddy Tops.
Yeah, I thought for sure. And also, I was like, last episode we were talking about how, like, the dinosaurs in The Land Before Time are they live sexless lives. Nobody has any sex. And I was like,
never mind.
I was like, I never thought that they would be bringing this up in one of these sequels, and I definitely didn't want it brought up like this.
Yeah.
Of all people.
Yeah, because the movie's filled with stuff like this.
I mean, how did
I mean, John Ingle has to be like in his 80s while recording this, right?
Yeah.
This is actually, he's actually not recording this. This is just audio recordings the FBI had left over of senators.
Oh, sick.
Well, at least that one, he's like trying to talk and stuttering. There were other ones where like Sarah was walking up and you could just hear them going like, and you're like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
Like, oof.
It was real gross. And yeah, I'm like, I don't think we needed another Daddy Top centric episode of this
I mean,
franchise.
he really is the worst character, and we're going to continue talking about this all night. But like, he is horrible, and we're going to give, of all the people, dinosaurs that exist in this world, we're going to give Daddy Tops a romance.
Like,
Yeah.
why?
Well, if you're gonna have songs that are gonna be Fear of the Other immigrant songs, then I mean you really have to center it around Daddy Tops.
I mean, I can't, like, I'd rather see Grandma and Grandpa explore the idea of bringing in a third than to see Daddy Tops get one partner.
Yeah, what happened to Paul or whatever from the last movie? What was his name? Was his name Paul? I don't remember.
Are you talking about the dad? Dad's name was Braun.
Not Braun, but the other guy, the hick dinosaur that was like, "I'll come live with you guys."
I'll burn my
Oh,
foot.
yeah. Oh, we totally correctly predicted that guy
Yeah.
was not going to be
He
here today.
doesn't exist. He's not. He's not here.
Yeah.
Unless he's split apart in the middle
But
of
yeah,
the
what
night.
about like Ducky's mom? You know, like how about she could find a guy, or Petrie's mom? Like,
Yeah.
When you get to the 11th, do you just automatically start writing slash fiction when you don't realize it? Where like you're just like, yeah, what about Ducky's mom? Get her in there. Anybody other than this. I
Yeah.
don't disagree. I just feel like it's a sad state of affairs.
This was also a movie written by someone who was feeling a little bit maybe not confident in certain ways. Like maybe they're a little bit too small.
yeah.
I'm not small. You're small. And then yeah, that was so.
Like the
I'm sorry.
only way that Littlefoot learns to not feel bad about being small is to find an entire community of
Yeah.
microscopic dinosaurs.
who are like, oh my
So-
god, you're so big. Wow, Littlefoot. Charles Grosvenor. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I've heard that people that struggle with that actually prefer the opposite and enjoy being humiliated by people
Oh, really?
telling them how small they are.
That's hilarious. I couldn't stop thinking about that. I was like, why are they making such a big deal about him like being upset that he's so small? I don't know.
What
Awkward.
message are we giving children anymore?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, last movie we praised it for like actually having the characters go through like emotional things and like blah blah blah. And then this one like completely dropped all the cool dinosaur stuff and then just went way too far with emotions.
Yeah.
Too much emotions.
And just stupid. It's just dumb. This one felt like it was an episode of like the TV show, even though the TV show hasn't happened yet. That someone would be like, let's have one bunch of tiny dinosaurs. That makes sense. In a goofy TV show.
I mean, I really had wanted them to just be lizards so that we could have to deal with the idea that we're going extinct and that others are evolving. But
I didn't get to, I'm in the middle of moving right now, so I didn't get to like watch the DVD version, but were there special features?
I didn't look at the special features either because I ran out of time, and I
no.
assumed you did.
I didn't
We've
get
fallen
to.
down on the job.
I wanted to know.
I bet you that there's a Charles Grosvenor biography.
I just wanted to know if there was some sort of like real tiny dinosaur like that, because so far all the dinosaurs have been real except for the imaginary friends.
Okay, we might have to like look it up, and then you can record yourself talking about it and insert it right here. No, I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Pause,
and we're
pause
back.
Pause for the edit. Yeah.
Insightful insight there, Justin.
Wow,
Oh, amazing.
wow.
I'm glad we
Cool.
took the time to review that.
You're a regular old paleontologist
No
over
way.
here.
No way.
Eat your heart out, Lord Dern. Okay.
I mentioned last week too in our predictions that maybe this would be like a Gulliver's Travels type thing, and the first time he sees them, I was like, "It is like Gulliver's Travel."
Yeah.
He wakes up and they're all around, and I thought, part of me was like, "Oh, it's a whole movie again about how everyone thinks Littlefoot's a crazy person.
I know. I was like, if this whole movie is Chicken Littlefoot again, I'm gonna be pissed off. Like, and it got pretty close. But
I mean, I kind of thought it would be fun if he was crazy this time, and like he had just bumped his head and they weren't actually real, because that would make more sense, I think, than what's happening in the actual film.
Fair enough. Oh God. Okay, so yeah, Littlefoot knocks over the tree because everyone made him feel bad about being small, and all the flowers fall and the little tiny sauruses eat them, and then he doesn't technically lie because they did eat them, but he doesn't tell anybody that the only reason they were able to reach them is because he knocked everything over. So he kind of lies and then starts this whole thing, and then we get our first song.
Yeah, they sing this song that everybody knows.
Yes, I'm so glad you pulled that. Honestly, I was this close to texting you like you should pull that Creepy Crawlers audio, but then I couldn't remember if like you knew about it or what. I know we've talked about it before.
Yeah,
I had a Creepy Crawlers Evan. It
Oh
was
my
amazing.
You are so cool.
Those were,
It was amazing.
Those are great.
Oh yeah, I think we discussed that they weren't actually edible, right?
They were not edible
No.
whatsoever. They were like hot glue.
Yeah. But it looks like you're just making like gummy candy.
It really does. And
Especially because
even afterwards, they look delicious.
yeah, especially because it's like the boy version of an easy bake oven.
Right.
So you're like, oh, you could probably eat those, right?
Yeah, that's probably why they don't make them anymore.
Yeah.
Too many kids died.
Pewter plates that you filled with toxic goop and then you heat it up with a light bulb. It was an orange piece of plastic with a neon green knob.
So yeah, this song, it actually goes like creepy crawlers, ooh, creepy crawlers, and this
They
is
should have just licensed the commercial jingle.
I know, it's so stupid. This is the point where like they were singing it, and like my wife like started like singing along, and then she was also like, "Jesus, what are you watching? Like, why are you doing this?" I'm like, I don't know, it's really dumb. I'm sorry. But it's kind of like they're gonna go hunt down these Frankensteins, mini Frankensteins.
Right. So they sing a whole song about how horrible they are. And then I actually appreciated this moment because everyone stops singing. And then Daddy Top says, well, now you know what we all have to do. And all the other dum-dums just stare at him like, actually, no, we don't know what you want us to do. Even though we just engaged in this hateful rhetoric in song, I have no idea what you want us to do. And then he literally says, we've got to hunt them down and like kill them all. Like a casual genocide. No big deal.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about them. So messed up.
And then everyone's like, yeah, like it's just like.
There's a part where I swear, like in the rabble, someone was like, "Burn them!" At one point, there's lots of like parents going,
"Rabble!" Yeah, it's very South Park. And then, like later on, he works them all up into a mob again for the big finale, and it is like so. I really thought like he was gonna break into the mob song from Beauty and the Beast at any minute.
Yeah.
It was getting faster and faster, and it was like, it's time to take some action, boys. Here, like he could have got a torch, and it would have been exactly from Beauty and the Beast.
And I feel so bad for Grandpa because I feel like he's been relegated to the role of like trying to be like, hey, everybody, stop this, like, calm down.
Yeah.
And like this movie, like he's yelling it as everyone's like running off to go burn them or whatever, kill all these.
I mean, he's like crazy old Maurice,
crazy old
Grandpa.
Crazy old Maurice.
Sorry, I really like that line of Beauty and the Beast. I'm about to get distracted by a lot of better movies as we go on here.
Yeah.
But I did like to when there was one time where Mr. Threehorn was like screaming and somebody was like, what's that? And Grandpa was like, oh, it's Mr. Threehorn again. And he's like, why do you think he's screaming? He's like, oh, he'll tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, but I'm sure he'll let us know. Yeah. That was great. There's some good digs in this one.
Right.
There's also like at that, like before they sing the song, like they're all together and there's like Trina's there and I think she's going like, yeah, Topsy's right. We need to do this. And like, there's a moment where, Petrie becomes everyone in the audience at this moment when he says this.
Did her say Topsy? Ooh.
I love that. That was so good.
I was like, that's exactly how I feel. It's so gross.
Yeah.
And I love that it was like a thing that like anytime someone was like, oh yeah, well Topsy did this, and Sarah would be like, what the, don't fucking say Topsy.
She like almost killed Ducky just for calling him that.
I thought that was a funny running gag in the movie.
Yeah, it is becoming like increasingly a little bit more like, Sarah is antagonistic. Mm-hmm. Littlefoot is the protagonist, and the other three are like the freaking Three Stooges over here. Like they're like the ones who are like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh, I guess we're mad now. Oh, I guess we're happy now. You know, like like it just. Yeah. I don't know.
They're the ones that just unfortunately get woken up in the middle of the night every movie.
Yeah,
like to go do something stupid.
Oh man. So yeah,
They all
Littlefoot finds them.
Well, yeah, they all split up into groups, and I did think there was a really funny gag about like how stupid the adults were, where there was like that one like brontosaurus that was like walking around a rock and then saw its own tail and was like, hey, get back here. And then you see like you see them like her chasing herself in the distance, and then like another dinosaur went through something and gets stuck like an idiot, and he's like and then you see like it pans out and you see like our kid, like the dino kids looking at them like, well, the parents aren't really smart, are they? You see her just going in circles in the background. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, but okay, so Trina, no N. Yeah. She's very like not like, okay, so this is like, I mean, everybody knows, and it's like well established that Sarah is super excited about getting the first tree star, right? Mm-hmm. It's like if your kid was like really excited for their upcoming birthday cake, and then your girlfriend all of a sudden was like, oh wow, I really can't wait to blow out the candles and eat the first piece of your daughter's birthday cake, like, and he's like, yeah, like, it's just like, what the hell? Who does that?
It's real creepy. Daddy Tops does that.
Yeah, Daddy Tops does that.
And like, I understand that it's limited continuity in these movies, but to have absolutely not even a throwaway line about what happened to her mom and sisters is just like so bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Daddy Tops is Daddy Tops.
She's like, I want to go back to when it was like just you and me only, and I'm like, when was that? Like, I don't know. She's a really bad like. It's interesting because it kind of switches in the middle of the movie, and I don't know if it's really just Sarah's perspective or if Tria starts acting differently, but she starts out as like, the Parent Trap evil, girlfriend, and then all of a sudden she's like, I want to be your friend, I'm trying to, and when they have their heart to heart and she's like, I've tried reaching out to you every way I know how, I'm like, did you? Like, once? Like, they certainly didn't show us that, nor did they show us like a montage to show that time had passed and maybe she had done that many times. But it seems like this all happened in like 3 days.
Yeah. There was like an odd moment. I don't remember exactly where it was, but there was a moment where it crossed my mind that I was like, the way she was talking, it kind of made it seem like she was going to turn evil at some point towards the end of the movie. And like she was going to be like controlling something, or I don't know. Yeah, it was very weird. But she was just a, awkward dinosaur that wanted love.
Yeah, because like who meets your new boyfriend and is just like, oh wow, would really be great if you could get me like this one random thing that I never knew about until right now,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What? Like,
let me have the first one.
If you're not first, you're last, Daddy Tops.
Yeah. Well, so they all split up, and then, Littlefoot ends up falling down a hole. And there they are. The Tinysauruses worshiping his bigness. He's a big one. What do they call him? They call him big ones, right?
Stompers?
Stompers? Oh yeah. I think they
no, they also call him something else though.
I thought they call him like the big ones, but they call him Stompers
maybe.
in the reprise at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Where the theme is everybody hates.
Yep. Both sides hates.
When Littlefoot first saw them eating the tree sweets, there was like 100 of them. And then when he goes into the cave, there's like 8 maybe or 5. Like there's 2 twins, there's Skitter the boy, there's the girl
Skittles.
Lizzie, and then there's like one other one, and then there's Big Daddy, not to be confused with Daddy Talks. Big Daddy is another character.
That was so dumb. Here comes Big Daddy. And voiced by Michael Clark Duncan, shockingly.
Do you think that some of these are just agents being like, you need to work, Michael? Like,
yeah, it's 2 days. It's 2 days. They really just want your low voice. That's it.
And it really feels like that there is no, like maybe they had him do 2 takes of every line. And they're just like, yep, that one's good. All right.
Also,
next.
we're going to make the dinosaur kind of look like you, but stop halfway through it because we don't care. It's gonna like look different than all the other ones, even though all the other ones just look like multicolored tiny Littlefoots. You know.
I mean, it probably was. You just need to work. Like, here's money, but like. You want to believe that it was something where he's like, oh, my nephew loves the Land Before Time movies, and so I thought it would be fun and blah, 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 but also my publicist just made this up, and I don't even have a nephew, you know? But at least maybe somebody go through the effort of doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, I mean, yeah, I guess they're just like a herd of tiny dinosaurs, all the same type of dinosaur, living underground?
Yep.
Because that's what they do. And I think maybe a bunch of them died off because they were hungry. They just died off.
They say they're not able to get food.
And they ate the other ones.
Too tiny. Yeah, that's right.
And then Littlefoot starts bringing them food, but I was like, I feel like that's way too much food.
Right.
You know, it's like a little kid who feeds a goldfish and then kills it because they don't understand that, like,
because they put a whole ham sandwich in there.
Yeah. You know, different amounts of food for different size creature. Yeah.
And he just like, he ends up stoking Daddy Tops' bloodlust because they wake up and they're like, he's like, thieves in the night.
My girlfriend was supposed to steal those leaves from my daughter.
Someone took it right out. The creepy crawlers came out and took it. They took our leaves.
They took our leaves.
But he continues to do it every night until he gets caught.
Yep.
And throughout this whole time, like during the day, the kids are not getting any sleep, which is really kind of like what all of these movies maybe should have been addressing all along, is how important it is for kids to get some sleep. I mean, that's why Littlefoot's not on track for his growth. He doesn't get any sleep. He wakes up every night and goes to do something. Like, not recently. Like, that's happened in at least almost every movie. So that's why he's not growing. And that's why the rest of them haven't grown or matured or developed at all, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, people notice that they're not sleeping, but don't actually really care.
Yep. Except for Sarah, who's like, you know, trying to figure out what Littlefoot's up to something. I don't know.
Right. And also, like, Sarah's dad keeps saying, like, I really need to talk to you about something. Like, we should have a talk about, you know, and it's just kind of like, why? Because it doesn't even appear that they've made any plans to, like, live together forever or something. But I don't know. It's a lot.
I like that in one of the previous movies, they made a whole like stick contraption to carry something. And then in this movie, like he can't figure out a better way to move the leaves than to just like slowly hit them across the grass with his tail.
Has Littlefoot ever rode on Grandpa's head before?
Yeah.
Okay. I think so. Yeah.
Last movie they did that a bunch. Remember, and he rode on Sue's head, and they
okay.
rode on the Loch Ness monster and all sorts of people.
It was just really weird when he like came down and was like, "Here, get on my head for no reason. Let's go home."
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. Eventually everyone finds it. All the kids find it.
They all get it on it, which is fine, and then they all do underground cave shenanigans.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to show you our hiding places. And it's just like, ha ha ha, funny, run around.
Oh, Spike's fat.
Let's sing a song. Yeah, he gets stuck Winnie the Pooh style and going through a hole.
And then Sarah is only playing along because she's mad at her dad for dating a lady. And so she's like, my dad will hate it if he doesn't know about these tiny dinosaurs. So I'll never tell him.
But then they sing a weird 1950s ballad about like girls and their dads.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the song that Elis thought Me and My Dad was going to be from last movie.
From last one,
before she knew that what was happening when she accidentally saw the title of the song.
Right, but so instead it's Sarah and then the girl Tinysaur, who's the daughter of Big Daddy, which, by the way, they never really explain like why there are no other adults and why none of the other ones. Like the Big Daddy, I guess maybe it's like what Braun did in the last one. It's like there was Big Daddy and his daughter, and then they just adopted all these other tiny saurs because who knows what happened to all the other parents, right? But anyways, she's like, they sing a little song about how overprotective their dads are, but oh well, that's just how dads are.
It's like dads are disappointing.
And then there's like the other little tiny sauruses are like do in the background.
I did think that was funny and also really hilariously animated because they like kept popping in the side. And at first Sarah and Lizzie like don't notice them the first couple times, and then later on the song they're like, wait, what are they doing? Like,
I thought this one was like not a terrible song, but it was just like a weird
musically it was fine.
Yeah.
The content I thought was like possibly morally reprehensible and dangerous. And like, you know,
also wasn't part of this story either.
No. So at its worst, it's like grooming girls to put up with like emotional abuse from their dads or male authority figures in general. And at best, it's McBroom and Browman had a really messed up relationship with their dad that they think is normal and put it into song.
There's a lot of this movie that feels like there's an interpretation where you have to be very generous to take it as not mean-spirited.
Yeah.
It's like I felt that same way about like the attitudes of the Tinysauruses. And it's like if I wanted to be very generous, this was written at a time where like we cared a lot more about refugees, and it was like we have to have compassion for them, and it wasn't just this foil for immigrants. But you're also coming from a Don Bluth series, so it just seems like this wildly mean-spirited and unethical like rivalry that they set up between them.
And I just hate the message that like, okay, my dad is like both physically and emotionally making me scared. Yeah. Like, and not only to me, but to my he physically threatens her friends.
To everyone that we know.
Yeah. Like, but you know what? He's just doing it because he protected me. And he just insulted his girlfriend because he cares about you so much. You like Sarah is so far gone that then she convinces the girlfriend to be an abused, abuse victim. It's ridiculous.
The call is coming from inside the house. Sarah, get out.
Yeah.
I have never heard there are not very many songs about girls and dads like in musicals or whatever, but I have never identified with one less. Like I cannot like my dad is nothing like this song, you know, like I mean, and if you were a dad and your daughter identified with this song, you would just want to like Justin, if Gemma sees this movie in 10 years and it's like, oh, wow, that really reminds me of dad, like, just end it.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, God, what did I do?
Yeah. Like,
I've messed up. It's time to be done. Yeah. No more dad time.
I mean, it's awful. I was just like, really, really put off by it. And I understand that I'm taking it way too seriously for something that people probably put almost no thought into. But you're still showing this to kids and it's still part of this series. And I think that these ideas are not good.
Yeah.
Would you have felt better about the song if that there was a reprise at the end? Because kind of what I wanted this movie to turn into was that Big Daddy was having his little tiny stores have this life of crime, and that Daddy Tops is going to have to like Bill the Butcher bring him into his army
That movie's called Oliver and Company.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted it to become Oliver and Company, but it never did.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was just, this song really, really upset me.
It was bad.
The fact that anybody thought this would be good, you know. is
Let's
not cool.
mask these horrible lyrics with doo-up-a-doo-dee-wah. And cute little dinos. No one will notice.
Also, maybe this is a good time to mention the insane choice that almost every dinosaur, while they're underground, is underlit for some reason.
Yes.
Where they're just like, oh, well, no, there's no sun. So where does the illumination from the cave come from? I don't know. The Earth's core?
Okay,
sure.
It's bioluminescence, baby.
But like
Call Cameron.
The first time he goes down there, like, and meets them, it's like, oh, there's a green one, there's a yellow one, there's a red one, and then like later on, it's like, oh, they're all blue. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, we haven't talked about it in a while, but the coloring is just not ever getting any better. And the more like areas they go into, just the worse it gets.
Yeah.
Justin, did you hope when you saw all the dinosaurs of the distinct primary colors that they would come together to form some sort of mega dinosaur?
Yes. I mean, come on.
There is a rainbow face in this movie.
Yes,
He's not
that's
called
true.
out.
That's true.
He's
I
like
saw
part
it.
of the angry mob.
He's Uatu the Watcher. He's there to observe.
Unclear if it's an alien or not, but yeah.
You joke about Marvel stuff, but like the scene where like Tria is trying to stop like Daddy Tops from like murder and Grandma and Grandpa are trying to stop Daddy Tops from murdering the dinosaurs. I was like, you know, this is giving me some like Loki vibes. You know? Like,
Don't
just
do
wait
it.
a minute, let's talk about this. You know, like
Yeah. We don't know anything about them. Yeah.
But then Chekhov's Earthshake, which has been laying on the table since the first entry of the series.
wait. We gotta like sing about. We gotta talk about
What must we sing about?
Littlefoot's sad sack of a depressing like suicide song.
I was like, is this the first time Grandpa's got to sing something?
I didn't even know he could sing.
Yeah,
but
I
that's
was like,
apparently actually Kenneth Mars,
Yeah.
King Triton himself.
Everyone gets a song eventually.
Yep. I mean, Daddy Tops did, Grandma did, and
Daddy
now
Tops has had
Grandpa.
enough songs.
Yeah,
Jesus.
and Ducky's mom had a song that one time.
Oh,
too.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So Petrie's mom needs a song. That's it.
Mhm.
That's right.
This
Did
one's
she have a
called.
song about Toronto? She probably did.
I don't know. Shouldn't have a song.
Okay,
Toronto had a song about himself.
Yeah.
that checks out.
This one's called "If Only," and I don't even remember much about it. I just remember it being boring.
I really thought you were going to play a segment of it.
I know I don't have it. I don't have it. I'm
You're
sorry.
like, this song's called "If Only," and Eliz and I were like, "Eh?"
We're ready.
But they did do the thing where like they kind of like, and they end the song, and then Littlefoot goes, "If only," you know when they put one of those like tags on that, like, I was like, no.
It sounds like the song is like a bagpipe deflating at the end.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a very sad song. Like, if only I could, you know, go back and change what I did and like not lie and be a better person. I don't even know.
It's also really not clear. I mean, maybe this is a good thing for the movie, or maybe it was completely imaginary because I was maybe packing a little bit while I was watching it. But it didn't make it feel like that there was a lot of moral stakes for his Littlefoot's lies. Like, it almost didn't feel, it's like, I found the, you know, like the tiny sores. Like, it didn't feel like that he was actively deceiving anybody. And then it felt like it escalated very quickly where there was actual real consequences for that to happen. But I mean, I guess it's because all of his friends were like, we know too, and it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it
They're
was
cute.
like, oh, you ruined the birthday cake or the candy or whatever it is for everybody. And now because of that, there's a genocide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone must
When you say-
die.
That was an escalation. I intuited that. I picked up on that.
Yeah. So
And then when, you know, okay. Wait,
if you would have told the truth, we wouldn't have tried to murder
We
everyone.
wouldn't need to eliminate the species.
We would have
I'm
killed
like,
you
I'm
instead.
forgetting
One
the
person.
order. But like the song is after he admits what he did, right?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. Because that's why he's singing about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So when he tells everybody the truth, for some reason, like there's this whole thing where Ducky and Spike and Petrie are mad at him, where I'm like, they would not care about this.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Yeah.
Sarah might, and then like, but she even
Sarah
she'd get over
might,
it.
but in this case, she actually was the only one who did it because she had
Yeah.
her own shit going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, there's like a kind of played for laughs again, Three Stooges situation where they like they talk themselves into forgiving him, pretty much.
Yep.
It's just, yeah.
Like in the way where it's like four characters talking, but it sounds like one screenplay writer like just throwing ideas against the wall.
Right. And is this like I didn't notice it in other movies, but I did in this one, like the use of screen wipes.
Yeah, there's a lot of wipes in it. Like there's not really planned transitions. Like it feels like they're just like, that's enough.
I mean, unless you're doing it for a thematic reason, I feel like there's no reason to use screen wipes in animation because you can animate whatever you want to transition, you know? Like,
well, they already
Yeah, but it
animated
was-
that flashback. They must have just found like some program to be like, screen
Yeah, I was like,
wipe.
no, but then Premiere got a good
Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sony Vegas had a real good wipe that year.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, so
There's sharp teeth.
the earth shake. The rock falls, even though they convinced Daddy Tops not to intentionally commit genocide. It happens anyway, and Littlefoot and Grandpa are like, "Oh no!" And then they're just like,
That's
"Oh
well." That's what I
and
wanted
they
to talk
walk
about.
away and go to sleep. They're not like, "Let's mount a rescue mission. Let's use the 25 giant dinosaurs we have to push some of these rocks."
No,
Yeah.
they're dead. That's it.
Yeah,
We tried.
Littlefoot goes from my good friends to, well, they had a good run in like 0 to nothing. Like, he does not give a shit. There's not even a moment.
Stupid.
It's
Like,
real
well,
bad.
that sucks. All right, let's go to bed. And he sleeps. It's not like he's restless. Like it cuts to the next morning. He's fine.
Yeah.
Despite the fact for that at least a week he's been essentially nocturnal, he's able to just sleep like a baby on cue. I'm like, dude, Littlefoot, you gotta let me know like how you're doing that because yeah.
You know, the song gave him the catharsis. He didn't have
Yeah.
any guilt anymore about causing
True,
a genocide.
Murder makes
True.
him sleepy.
Yeah. So Big Daddy leads the Tinysauruses away. Tinysauruses?
Tinysauruses.
Yeah, I
Tinysauruses.
think you say Tinysaurus because you say Tiny Saur, it sounds like a different thing.
Yeah. Tinysauruses. Tinysaur.
That's the problem that the
Tinysauruses.
person who wrote Littlefoot's storyline was.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they the Rainbow Coalition of Tinysauruses, who are occasionally increase to being like anywhere from 25 to 5 of them walk out to the mysterious beyond and then don't even really go into the mysterious beyond, which by the way, I think this is the first movie where nobody goes into the mysterious beyond, which is shocking and slightly upsetting, I have to say.
Especially after Littlefoot was like 5 movies ago. That's all I need to do. I've seen everything I need to see in the Great Valley. Fucking aliens told me so.
Right. Or like adventuring with me and my dad, and adventuring is so great. And yeah, whatever that last one
And
was.
the lone dinosaur.
Oh God. Okay. So yeah, then some raptors come and chase them back all the way to the Great Valley, which I was kind of like, oh, who cares though? Because we have like so many big dinosaurs that 2 little raptors is like essentially nothing. I mean, our friends literally kill multiple sharp teeth in every other movie. Like, who gives a crap about 2 raptors?
Yeah, but they're still like, oh God, help
Like,
us.
I want them to be nonchalant about it next time. It's just like, oh, well, let's find some fucking rocks, I guess. Hold on. Grandpa's like, I'll finish the story in a second. Hold
This
on. little
again.
ones. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. You know the drill.
Yeah, there's a whole intense fighting scene, and Tria is involved and saves Sarah, and then the Tinysauruses come back and save Petrie
I
by
did
tickling a raptor.
Yeah, I was like, are they just gumming them to death? I didn't even think they had teeth, but I guess they have teeth. But it just looked really funny. Like they're like, charge, diddly diddly dee, and then they're like climbing all over them, and the raptors are just like, too many dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean, and I really didn't like how Daddy Tops like had to save Tria and Sarah. You know, after I think they were sort of establishing that Tria could like handle herself, and then they're like, no, just kidding. Daddy Tops is gonna come save the day.
No, not in the movie that had that dad song.
No.
Yeah, no.
And then eventually the two raptors are too much even for Daddy Tops, and then all of a sudden somewhere between 35 and 50 Tinysauruses appear and like Justin said, nibble the two raptors to death.
Yeah.
And that was the real nibbling day.
Well, it's like, don't all the parents show up at some point too? They're just they come charging in.
Away, yeah.
And then they're like, let's find the perfect rock to cover up this exact hole. And they're like, here it is. Push it over. Done. It lands perfectly in it's like a triangle.
The Great Valley for nothing. We got the best rocks.
That's right. Got the perfect rock for this triangle hole. And that's pretty much it.
Then there's a really, really sweeping like camera movement final shot like around the whole Tree Sweets tree and seeing everybody celebrating. And like I'm probably just like, so my standards are so low at this point. I was kind of like, that actually looked kind of cool.
Yeah, what about the like Aladdin type sequence where like Littlefoot is running through the caves and it turns into like a CG cave for a second as he's being chased by something? Yeah. What do you guys think at this point about the? I feel like it's kind of deranged actually that they continue to. Say at the end of each movie there's like a group of characters or one character that's like, yeah, we're gonna stick around and we're gonna be here. we're staying with the family, don't worry, you're right, we should stay. And then it's like the big celebration thing, and the next time they all were together again.
It's like
for
they're just like some sort of Manson family where there's just this boneyard in the Great Valley where they're eating them.
Yeah, and then each one it's like those people were never seen again.
Never go. What happened to like someone's gonna come? It's like, you killed my mom came through here. She said I was gonna be fine. She told us to meet us. She was never here.
You guys were talking about Tinysauruses just yesterday. I thought someone said they were sticking around. Where'd they go? What'd you do with them? Why is there a barbecue pit over there? Yeah, do you guys think that they're going to come back?
No. And
are there going to be Tinysauruses the rest of these movies?
Like they will never age either because like
he did age in this one apparently.
He grew, yeah.
I don't even buy it. Like because like
I really wanted someone to say like, what if the tree just grew like so the branches are lower this year? You know, like
that's what I thought too.
It's like Littlefoot. They had to invent impossible, stupid, tiny dinosaurs to give him like, I'm a small guy. Like, what if I was a big guy narrative? Like, they couldn't even have younger. Like, they weren't even going to make younger dinosaurs than them.
Yeah, they gotta have Tinysauruses. And I like how Grandpa's like,
idea.
Grandpa Littlefoot's like, I grew up, yeah. And Grandpa's like, no, you didn't. No, he doesn't say that, but he's like, you grew up the moment you told us the truth. And so what I'm actually saying is, no, you haven't grown at all.
Yeah.
You've just metaphorically grown.
The moment you told the truth.
I mean, it's certainly like the preachiest of any of these movies have been, but in a weird, like misguided, inappropriate way.
I don't know. I think the Toronto one was pretty preachy about, hey, forgive your creepy uncle.
Yeah, that's what we need to be preached on.
Yeah. Has it been five cold times yet or whatever? Are we due for Uncle Toronto to return from banishment?
I mean, there was two in this movie.
They did reference the Daddy Top said something about the cold times, and I'm just like, call it the big freeze, you piece of shit.
Call it the big.
The movie titles don't exist in the universe.
No, their logic is the most fuzzy. Like, I almost want to make like a dictionary for all their dumb bullshit and how many times it contradicts itself.
They really should. You really should.
Sleep stories.
I do want to talk about Tria, because we kind of went past this part quickly,
Yeah.
but so okay, her and Sarah, after she's like, Sarah, I've tried so hard to reach out to you, even though she hasn't. Sarah is like, okay, let's, try to be friends. I can see you like my dad and he likes you and you make him happy and blah, blah, blah. And she goes through the thing that all these kids in all kid movies go through, where they're going to accept the girlfriend or the boyfriend or whoever it is. But then, like, when Daddy Tops is rousing the angry mob, like, he yells at Tria in front of everybody and is like, you should shut up if you don't know what you're talking about, or something like that, right? It's so inappropriate. Like, she should have broken up with him immediately and left the Great Valley. But instead, she's like walking around, and then Sarah, for some reason, is going to extend the olive branch and go up to her and be like, oh, are you mad that he yelled at you? And she's like, oh, not about that. And I'm like, no, that is what you should be mad about. Like, she's not about that. I'm just mad that he wants to casually commit a genocide and like get an angry mob, together without thinking about it. And Sarah's like, oh, but you know what? The only reason he wanted to do that genocide is because he knew that you were sad you didn't get to eat candy. And so that makes it okay, and you should forgive him. And she's like, oh, yeah,
you're
what?
right.
That's kind of hot, Like, it's just
Yeah.
She's like, you're right. His abusive behavior is attractive.
I mean, we're all very lucky. We have both our parents, so it's not like we've been through any of this, but like, it cannot be good for the child to have to intervene to convince one of the people in the relationship to like put up with abuse.
Yeah. I felt really bad for Tria's character earlier on too, because she has that whole speech about how she's like, yeah, I used to know your dad like really well, and I look forward to like getting to know him again. And I was like, oh god, and then she like slowly learns about how much of a racist, horrible piece of shit he is, like through the rest of the movie.
She basically ends up staying because either she's stupid or she feels so bad for Sarah that she's like sacrificing herself to try and protect this girl from her abusive father.
Ugh.
Yeah,
it's nuts. It's crazy and bad. And like, even though it'll be annoying if we never see Tria again, I'll be happy that she gets out.
That she moved on.
Yeah. Except she should have took Sarah with her. It's like that, like in Boyhood, like I always wonder why Patricia Arquette and the Boyhood and two kids don't take those other two abused kids with them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to think about Sarah. On spoilers for Boyhood.
Yeah, spoilers. Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
But I left the movie and that was all I could think about. And everybody else was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. He grew up and this and that. And I was like, what about those abused kids? Did they ever talk to them again? Like, I don't know.
Terrible. But, yeah, Tria stays, the Tinysauruses stay, and they all stick around for the next nibbling day, and everyone has a fucking blast. And then we learn that while everyone's happy and everything, secretly behind their backs, Big Daddy was singing about the what's the song called? The
Stupid Stompers.
Stupid Stompers. Yeah.
There's a line in it that calls them clumsy and dumsy.
I love that, like, okay, we were making fun of this song, but apparently the filmmakers and the songwriters, this was like their favorite song of all time. There's 2 reprises.
That never happens.
Yeah, and it's like in the score a bunch of times, like do 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 do. Like I was like, wow, they're like obsessed with this. But I have to say, as soon as Michael Clark Duncan's character came on, I was like waiting for him to get to sing a song, and he does in the credits. Why
is it in the credits?
Allegedly.
Though?
I don't know.
This could have been a whole like Savages, Pocahontas, like barely even human.
Instead, they
beneath their milky hide, there's emptiness inside. Like it could have been a whole like back and forth thing. Sorry, that's my favorite thing to say about white people. I learned it from Pocahontas.
Yeah, it's just weird that they throw it in the end credits and play it as like just a joke, like a throwaway joke.
Maybe
Yeah, it
they
would've been
didn't
way
think his
cooler.
singing was very good because they were kind of right.
No,
It
was
sounded
fine.
fine. Yeah, it's not like
It's
it's not
better
a hard
than Grandpa's. I hate to say.
It's not a hard song to sing. Come on, yeah. But I was hoping for, the credits rolled, and I was like, all right, what pop star is gonna
I
sing the
know.
doo-wop song or whatever? I don't know. But
They
there was
only let it happen 2 times.
What year was
and
this?
landed it.
not. This was 2005.
Oh man.
Okay,
Yeah.
who should it have been? Well, I graduated from high school in 2005, so I bet I could think of something.
God, who was even? Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, they have to be aging though at that time.
Yeah,
Oh, it's too hard.
it's too many. It's just too many.
Yeah. Oh, is it that time? I don't even really have one for this.
You don't have a rating system?
I feel like that the
Tree
tiny.
sweets?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's tree sweets.
Yeah, I suppose. How many super delicious, once in a lifetime, one time a year tree sweets?
Oh, also, I want to say I'm annoyed the trio was pink.
Yeah. Yeah.
How else would you know she was a girl, though? Seriously.
I don't know.
I'm kidding.
I mean, especially with that big floppy penis, like how would you know?
I know, it was really confusing. No wonder Littlefoot was feeling real small.
That's what it is. There was a lot of.
Oh.
Wait, can you sing "Stupid Stompers" to the tune of "Creepy Crawler"?
Stupid stompers like that.
That's a ticket. That's what we wanted.
Wow, you can make your own stupid stompers inside the Super Stompers machine.
They're clumsy and tumsy.
Those commercials. Yeah, I watched the commercial to get that thing, and it's just like, wow, commercials were wild in the 90s. What? There's like,
Unhinged.
Your
there's like,
parents to buy one today.
there's like
Yeah.
severed heads singing the song in a jar. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Now I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how many of those sweet tree sweets?
You couldn't think of another word other than sweet. It's like stuck in your brain now.
I forgot what they were called.
Those sweet tree sweets.
And it was too late to pull up from the landing. I'm
Those
sorry.
Tree.
We're,
sweet.
we're landing in the lake,
Those
everybody.
Sweetie Petey tree sweeties.
So fucking stupid.
We're under a lot of stress and we're losing our minds right now.
200 episodes. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Tree sweets. Okay.
How many did you eat at Nibbling Day? How many tree sweets did you eat?
I'm gonna give it 4 tree sweets.
Oh.
I mean, somebody tried to bring the emotional depth of 10 into this and just did it in all the wrong ways. And, regardless of animation and music and anything else, like if you went back and listened to all my ratings over the last 200 episodes, you know that nothing makes me more angry than like some sort of morally reprehensible messaging. And that's what this one had. And especially for kids, it's just not, it's real bad. But I mean, the animation is kind of holding steady. They're trying to do some 3D things here and there. I thought the songs were like really not good for this one because you have like an antagonist hunting song, a ballad but about dads, a doo-wop song, and then you have a super depressing
I fucked up and I want to go back.
Senator's apology song.
Yeah, seriously. I'm surprised it wasn't a Notes app Instagram thing that Littlefoot posted on his.
I disappointed everybody.
And I'm gonna do better, and I'm gonna do the work. But anyway, that's me. Four tree sweets.
Fair. I think I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna gather up 3 tree sweets for Nibbling Day, and I'm gonna be like nibble. Yeah, this one's pretty bad. I honestly could probably go lower. I don't know. I just think the storyline is stupid, and I don't care if the Tinysauruses are based on a real dinosaur or what. Is dumb. Like
Probably not, but we're gonna find out. And rewind to hear what Justin said.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, part of me was like, oh, maybe this would be like, on Solar Opposites, where we get the story of the Tinysauruses, we get the story of like these other people that were involved in, something the entire time. It would be interesting to see what the Tinysauruses were up to this entire time underground.
Yeah. It was the Tinysauruses all
embezzling.
along.
Yeah. It'd be funny to see them like stealing stuff and
Yeah.
That would be a great montage. But this is just a dumb movie. I don't know. They're fighting over tree sweets. It's stupid.
There's still plenty of food. It's just like, just the thing that we like.
I just like, I couldn't believe that Daddy Tops was like the main character again. I'm like, I'm sorry. John Ingle's doing fine performance and everything, but it's just like
not his fault.
No, I'm tired of that character, and it's always the same like thing. And we don't need to see a character being racist and xenophobic over and over again.
I think I'm gonna have to go with 2 tree sweets. And the reason is I've agreed with everything that Justin said, but then they had the gall to watch, like they had to bring flirting into the series with Daddy Tops.
Ugh.
They had to bring sexuality.
It made me feel bad now. I want to go even lower than I did before.
Yeah, because like everything that you said is true.
I forgot about the sex.
But then there was also like sex
Yeah.
between them, which I just didn't need from it. All of it awful. No, thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna go down to 2 also in honor of Sarah's mom. And 200 episodes.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Elis, maybe this is the one where Daddy Tops comes from in the fan fiction.
Might be.
No, I think it is. I honestly think it is. I thought the Tinysauruses, like I thought that Big Daddy was gonna die, and the Tinysauruses would be like, "Yay, Daddy Top saved us."
Yeah. We got to have Daddy in the name somewhere. And Daddy Tops is going to do it. Oh, God. Yeah. Stupid.
Also, it sucks when a character, is somehow redeemed from being super racist and violent by, like the love of a good woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Well, you know what? We might not want to watch another Land Before Time movie, but...
Well... I guess if we gotta, we gotta.
Michael Clark Duncan as Big Daddy.
That's right. Do we have any predictions for Land Before Time 12?
Yeah, so here it is. 1 year later, we get Land Before Time 12, The Great Day of the Flyers.
Oh,
Peacher's mom is going to get a song.
Yeah, she might.
Exciting.
Is this going to be an Uncle Toronto return visit?
Oh, Elis, what if they're handing out flyers and it's a Newsies ripoff? They got to get those papes.
Dare they?
It has nothing to do with the dinosaur flyers that they call them, and it's about actually handing out flyers.
Like, we need to distribute common sense for dinosaurs.
And John Ingle's like, once a year we celebrate the Great Day of the Flyers, where people go around and like Jehovah's Witnesses and try to convince people to move to the Great Valley. You guys, it's so great. I mean, look at the flyer. That would be amazing.
It's a great valley.
Will Uncle Toronto be in this next movie?
I hope so.
I think
I hope not.
He makes
me uncomfortable. But
yeah, if they're like this, it makes it seem like they're trying to like recapture the magic of the Great Long Neck Migration. So maybe now the Flyers have their turn to change, save the world or whatever. But maybe he'll like show up in the background for 2 seconds, but they'll never actually like reference him. You'll just be like, I think that was him. Like I saw the pot belly. That was definitely him.
I saw way too much fan fiction of Uncle Toronto's big belly.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
It's not good.
Well,
I mean, maybe in the last episode, I'll tell you guys all the horrible things I've seen while looking for art for the images.
Yeah.
Why don't we cleanse our palate with those thoughts? But you can go back, listen to some of our older episodes and rate and review those on Apple Podcast. We did a very long Chucky series, and there's that Chucky TV show coming out. Maybe that's a good one to catch up on.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, actually. Looks great. And, I mean, other than that, thanks for being here with us for 200 episodes.
Yeah.
That is crazy, you know? It's really crazy. I know, yeah, like Ela said, we didn't do like a big thing because we're all in the middle of like crazy life stuff right now. So we didn't get to have a big celebration, but we're here with you doing what we love, and I hope you're enjoying it. And yeah, we're going to do a few more episodes before the format change, but we've been having a blast.
Yeah.
And other than that, I think that's it. We'll see you guys next week for episode 201. We're still going. Land Before Time 12, the day of the great flyers. Or wait, hold on. I think I said that wrong. It's the great day of the flyers. Shit.
The day is great.
It's the greatest day to fly, you guys.
The flyers aren't great. It's the day that's
It's the
great.
great day of the flyers. So sometimes they have bad ones, but this one's great. See you then.
Stupid stumpers, clumsy clumpers, eating all the tree stars with their giant chompers.